Cheerleaders, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. #1 best-selling author and Ramsey personality, Dr. John Deloney, is my co-host today. And we will be talking about your mental wellness, your relationships as part of everything we do, because that's what he does on the Dr. John Deloney Show every day. You can be sure to check that out. Well, it's actually 3 days a week as a podcast. Hugely popular podcast on the Ramsey Networks right now. So be sure and check all that out. Phone number here, 888-825-5225. You jump in, we'll talk. Donnie is with us in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hi, Donnie. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Man, it's an honor to talk to you.
You too, sir. What's up?
Dave, I'm in a pickle.
All right.
I'm 53 years old, have absolutely nothing for retirement. I'm $50,000 in debt, and I want a divorce.
Okay. What's going on with your marriage?
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a jar of pickles, man. What you got?
A jar of pickles. Yeah. What's going on with the marriage?
Well, I guess it's just been building over the last 10 years. I'm an over-the-road truck driver and hardly at home. Now my wife was handling all the bills and all the money, and for a while, man, we were doing great. All right, COVID hit. I was at home, and we got debt-free, paid off everything we had.
So you're saying y'all got along better when you weren't there?
Oh, yeah, we definitely get along better when I'm at home. Oh, yeah. That's why I've been married for 32 years.
Oh, God. That's so not funny, but I'm sorry. Oh.
Yeah, well, it is funny, actually. But, I mean, last year, I was in a sweet spot. We were in a sweet spot. No debt. I had 6 months living expenses saved up. I had money. We didn't have to use credit cards, anything she wanted. All she had to do was go buy it. We were set. And then all of a sudden she just got a wild hair up her britches and wanted to move into a house and doubled our rent, emptied the savings. And then she got crazy and went and got all these credit cards and started putting charges on them. And a couple of weeks, I found out I'm $30,000 in debt to the to the IRS for years of taxes that she didn't pay. And I guess I should have been a little more on top of it, but
yeah, a lot.
So now all of that just hits me, and of course, the marriage has sort of been going downhill for the last 10 years, and
but it wasn't though. When y'all were on the same page and y'all were able to sleep again and you were able to laugh and do something together again, it wasn't. So the last couple of years, it's been pretty good, right? Or did y'all come up with this common purpose? We're going to work really hard together. We're going to get out of debt. We're going to do this. We're going to be set up. And it was still failing then? It was still falling apart then? I don't buy it.
Yeah, the marriage was still falling apart. But we were on the same page as far as finances go. I had approached her with the Snowball program and introduced her to Dave. She was reluctant, and I just sort of put my foot down and said, look, this is the way it's just got to be, and this is what it's going to look like when we're done. And she trusted me, and so we started doing that, and we achieved our goal.
Nope, you didn't. You didn't achieve y'all's goal. You achieved your goal.
True. I'll give you that.
And so she got debt-free for you, and then you went back on the road, and she's still sitting there, and she went with her nowhere. Right.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm just, I've been in full panic mode ever since I turned 50.
Well, let me ask you this. What is the actual? This is a sad situation. I'm sorry, Donnie. It's a mess, and there's a lot of things we could deal with in the mess. A lot of pickles in the jar, and but how can we best help you today?
I need to figure out something to do with these taxes.
Okay. All right. That the taxes not being paid is a symptom. The credit card debt is a symptom. The debt getting paid off is a symptom of behaviors and attitudes and beliefs that you all are harboring or not harboring. And so I'll be happy to tell you what to do with the IRS. You need to go to RamseySolutions.com, click on ELP for taxes, sit down with one of our tax pros, and they'll help you negotiate a payment plan with the IRS until you can get them paid off. Now, then at the core of this whole thing is that you guys suck at communication in your marriage beyond belief.
Yes.
And it's partly due to you being on the road. It's partly due to you putting your foot down, only you missed when you put your foot down.
You stomped on her toes. When
all you did is stop on her toe. Yeah. You didn't really do anything. And it's partly due to her doing whatever she wants. You guys, so then what you've got to do is you're going to continue to have financial problems as long as you are not communicating and aligned on where we are going. And aligned doesn't mean you're demanding or she's demanding. Aligned means we both look into the future, we see a desired future that we both agree on, and then we both agree on the steps to get to it. We both have a vote, and we both are going to put our shoulder to the wheel, and we're both going to push. That's the only shot your marriage has. Otherwise, you are divorced, and then you get to go fix your money problems.
And, you said that all those things were a symptom and of the behavior. And I agree with that because, I follow you, man.
Including your behavior.
Including yours.
Because you're not plugged in enough to know that the taxes weren't being paid. That's a behavior.
And y'all have a dance of the y'all are doing the dance of the victims where she did all this to me, and then
he's on the road, left me, and then he bitches about the way I do it.
And then we're back. Y'all are hey, you want to get out of the dance of the victim? Walk up and take a knee, and take ownership, and say, "Here's what I've contributed for the last 30 years, and I'm willing to change." That's the shot you got, right?
Yeah.
Take ownership of it.
If you guys can get in alignment and in agreement, you got a really good shot at straightening up your money stuff and your marriage
Absolutely.
stuff. But if you're not, then you just got to go decide what you're going to do after you're divorced and get after it. But get in touch with one of our tax ELPs and they'll help you with the tax mess, brother. I'm sorry you're facing this. This is The Ramsey Show. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. #1 best-selling author of the book Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Chris is with us in New York. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Great. How can we help?
So I called you about a year ago. I just to fill you in of where I am right now. I have full custody of my daughter. I work full time and I have 2 part-time jobs. I'm looking to buy a house, and from what I'm listening to, all the financial people that I hear on the radio are saying wait 1 year. About a year, it should be about the right time to buy. Now, my question to you is: I work for a good company. They're offering me this first-time homebuyers program. I'm not 100% sure if that's the name of it, but that's basically what it is. And they said all I need basically to buy a house is 3% and the cost of the down payment. Not the down payment. 3% and the cost of the closing cost. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, I don't know what the terms of the deal are. There's lots of different kinds of first-time homebuyer programs out there. 3% plus closing costs is the same thing an FHA loan is.
Yeah, what's the benefit?
There's no big benefit to that I can hear. Are you debt-free?
Yes, sir, I am.
Good. And you have your emergency fund in place?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then if you can buy a home, and if you get into this further and figure out that it's a great deal, if there's some other benefits to it, but it sounds like it's just an FHA loan to me. I don't know what the company is contributing in their program that they have. You got to figure that out, because what you described there is nothing special.
I believe they said they would help pay $25,000 towards off the cost of the house.
Okay, well that would be a lot. Yeah, that would probably cover a lot of your down payment, right?
Yeah, my question is...
when do you have to repay that, or do you?
I don't think I do. It's a pretty good company. It's a lumber yard. We're the biggest on Long Island, and they said they would contribute to the economy out in Long Island, and they want to help out their employees.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah. No,
okay.
it's a great.
As far as the experts saying to wait a year, I wouldn't. Because the house prices are going to be higher 1 year from now than they are now.
You think they're going to be higher?
I'm almost positive they're going to be higher.
Huh. No, they're saying wait because
there's a lot of theys that are stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, as a guy who just sits by Dave, he uses this weird thing called math and data, and it's unnerving sometimes, but usually he's right.
Yeah, so, here's the deal. We have 1/4 of the inventory available that we had in 2008, and we have 6x the buyers that we had in 2008. Now, 2008 house prices went down because the supply-demand curve was not what it is now. But right now, what I'm explaining to you is there is a greater demand than there is a supply. In that case, with any item, it never goes down in price. When lots of buyers are chasing few items, it always goes up in price. That's how we saw a 29% increase in 2020, an 18% increase in house prices in 21. 22 appears to be 7 to 8% is what we're going to end at, and 23 is projected to be 4 to 5% increase. So the talking, blabbering fools that don't know that data are who they are that you're listening to. You can do whatever you want to do. It's not going to affect me at all. But I'm not waiting a year to buy a house if I'm going to buy a house waiting on it to come down. You're going to be sorely disappointed if you do. Sounds like you have a very unusually cool company. I've never heard of a company pay $25,000 for somebody's house before. And I've been doing this 30 years. I've got a very cool company. We do a lot of unbelievably cool things for our people, and I haven't done that one.
And I was about to say, Dave, where were you on that one, man?
Nope, not that cool. Not as cool as his company, if that's the definition of cool. So, yeah, wow, pretty impressive. All right, Samuel's with us in Houston. Hey, Samuel, what's up?
Hey, Dave. Hey, John. Thank you all for everything you do, and so good to talk to you.
Sure. What's up?
2 years ago, I had a good-paying job, family, 3 kids, a house, and no debt, and about $10,000 in savings or so. Around that same time, I went through a very bad divorce, had to resign from my job to care for my 3 kids that I have full custody over. We had to relocate. I live now near family, and so things are better. And over the last 6 months, I've got myself, back to where things are, no one's starving, bills are paid, et cetera. During that period, I very, very foolishly borrowed quite a bit of money, and now I'm in the hole. And my question for y'all pertains to 2 particular personal loans through Lending Club, amounting roughly to about $15,000. The interest rate on both those loans.
Wait a minute, let me stop you. I want to make sure that everyone hears real clearly what you just said. Lending Club was not a blessing.
No.
Okay,
no,
just want to make sure folk understood that. Okay. Because they're so sweet. They're so sweet. I mean, like SoFi, right? They've got all these little sweet people doing little dances in their commercials and crap. And then when you actually talk to their customers, they go, they screwed me. So I just want to make sure everybody heard that loud and clear. I want to put names with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so you got $15,000 in debt, and your income went before all hell broke loose in your life was what?
It was $50,000 a year. I'm actually $30,000 in debt, and that is at a 35% interest rate. It goes up every day. I made a plan yesterday to pay it all off by May of next year. Called them to walk through it and found out that my projections were wrong because today, if I were to pay them today, I'd be paying them $30,000. If I pay them in
so
May,
wait, what did you stop a second? What did you say you used to make?
$50,000 a year.
And what do you make now?
I'll be lucky if I make 25 right now.
Okay. What did you used to do, sir?
I was a music director, a church musician, and the gig I was in was particularly sweet. I got in there through some major connections. It wasn't.
No, it really wasn't. I mean, $50,000 a year doesn't fall in the bucket of particularly sweet. It's okay. It's great, but
sure.
$500,000 a year falls under the head of hitting a particularly sweet. So, so what what you've got really, dude, is 2 things. You have a structure problem with the debt. And the second thing is, with having the hell beat out of you for the last 3 years, you've kind of stopped believing in you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember that feeling when I went broke. It took me a little while to start believing in me again. From the trauma. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Because there's a bazillion jobs out there right now that pay more than the stinky one you've got.
Dave, if you don't mind my putting this out there, I'm currently working 2 jobs, and right now it keeps us afloat, and my obligations to my children, I mean, everything is working. Mm-hmm. It's just the debt that's killing at the moment.
The reason the debt is killing you is you don't make any money.
Yes, that's true.
If we can double your income, this problem goes away very quickly, and we really should be able to, without destroying your family life. But you're white-knuckling trying to make math work that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's why you called, because it's not working. It's blowing your brains up, right? I mean, you're just like you're scrambled eggs. And so I remember this feeling. It's stress-induced. So anyway, let me step back a second. But number one, I'm going to tell you that what I'm going to do is go apply for 10 credit cards and get 5 of them and move this debt from freaking Lending Tree, which now it sounds more like a payday lender the way they're screwing you over. You've got to get this off of their books and move it somewhere else where it's more of a normal. If you had an 18% credit card debt, it'd be superior to what you got now.
Yeah.
It really would. So let's go get some credit cards, and then I'm going to send you a copy of Ken Coleman's book. I'm running out of time, John. I'm sorry, but wish we had more time with him. Paycheck to purpose, dude. You've got to work on the income side of your equation. You got to believe in you enough again to go get better jobs. The ones you have are horrible. Lots of things out there paying $20, $25 right now. Target is paying $25, and they suck.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Thank you for joining us, America. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Wes and Lindsay are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
How's it going?
We're good.
Awesome. Where do y'all live?
We're in Castle Rock, Colorado.
Oh, nice. Fun. Welcome to Nashville. How much debt have you paid off?
$215,000.
All right. How long did that take?
38 months.
All right. And your range of income during that 3 years?
Yeah, we started at 120 and then ended at 185.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a stay-at-home mom and a grad student.
Mm-hmm.
And I run a planning and development team for an oil and gas company in Denver.
Ah, and it's obviously done very well in the last 36 months. Good. Good for you, or at least you've done very well. Good. Proud of you. Very cool. What kind of debt was your $215,000?
It was her house.
You paid off your house! Weird people! How old are you two?
I'm 35.
And I'm 38.
And you have a paid-for house in Castle Rock, Colorado. What's it worth?
$660.
How much is in your retirement accounts, guys?
Right at 400.
So, right at being Baby Steps millionaires. Ding, ding, look at you, and not even 40 years old. Tell me this stuff doesn't make you wealthy.
The people
I'm proud
listening,
of you.
the people listening, like, you can't even talk, you're smiling so big. Like, this is exciting. I can feel it through the glass. That's double pane glass, right?
Yeah.
You're just radiating this excitement. That's awesome.
So proud of y'all. Very cool. You did this fast, too. Very well done. All right, tell us what happened. How'd you get connected to the Ramsey way?
About 10 years ago, a close friend of mine was leading FPU, and even though she'd been prodding at me to go, he convinced me. So,
Of course.
Of course.
yeah.
Okay, and so, but you only did this for 3 years. So what happened to the other 6 years?
We started paying our house off when we went through FPU, and then I got transferred. So we had to press pause for a little bit, and then we got transferred back to Colorado, and that's when we started.
Okay, and then when you landed there and the dust settled, you said, okay, we're doing this for real. That was 38 months ago, game on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, we were
cool.
leading an FPU class, and it's really easy to get motivated to pay off debt when you're teaching this stuff. So
Yeah. That's so good. That's so good. Well done, you two.
Thank
It's a little
you.
difficult to lead the class and not do the stuff. That's kind of hypocritical.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Way
so
to go.
Lindsay, take us back to the moment when Wes comes in and says, hey, I've been talking to my friend Dan. He thinks we should walk us through that conversation.
Well, his name's Tim. Tim Uliberry, if
I was
you're
trying to help
watching.
him out, but
I know.
go ahead.
So Tim suggested we go through this class, and I had been trying to get him to do it for a while, and then we finally went through it. He listened to his friend above me, of course. But yeah, it was awesome. We finally got on the same page, and like he said, it took us a long time to finally get to the point where we wanted to get gazelle intents on our house. But a few years later, we decided to do it.
And now you don't have a payment in the world.
Nope.
How's it feel to not have a payment in the world? And you're not even 40.
Feels like peace.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
You know what you can do when you don't have any payments and make $185,000 a year? Anything you want! Wow. Pretty impressive.
Hey, unpack that word peace. Like that. Sometimes I think we've gotten to a place in our culture where peace is like a unicorn. I don't even know what that looks like. I've never seen one of those in real life. Describe that. What's a couple of things that have changed in your life?
Oh, gosh. So during COVID, when oil went negative, that was not a time of peace when I had a lot of debt.
Yeah.
And for the last 5 years, we've gone through rolling layoffs about every 6 months. And knowing that if that happens again, that we're just perfectly fine. I mean, I could get a job at Walmart.
It's going to be annoying, not catastrophic,
Yeah, and that is
an inconvenience.
Yeah, it is really peaceful to know that there's nothing weighing on our shoulders in this category.
Yeah. What's the first big thing you're going to do to celebrate?
Well, we kind of already did. We promised our kids that, we had sacrificed so much when we were on this journey, and they're still pretty young, and we told them that we would take them to Disney World when we got our house paid off, and so we got to do that, and that was awesome. But the biggest thing is I bought a new washer and dryer.
Yeah! That's how you celebrate right there. That's big celebration.
Wes, you didn't buy her that for Christmas, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good.
I didn't. I bought her a vacuum.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you guys are incredible. I'm so proud of you. What is the thing you tell people when they learn that you are 100% debt-free, if they learn that you're Baby Steps millionaires, and they say, how'd you do that? You're not even 40. What do you tell them the key is?
For me, the key has really been intentionality and contentment, and just less consumption, just less financial consumption, but also less social media consumption, less HGTV consumption.
Both of those things make you want to buy stuff, yeah.
And just really being thankful and happy with what we have. I like to say the phrase, comparison is the thief of joy. And for me, that was really true. So when I just became content with what I had, and that was a huge part of this, how it worked for me.
Is that a Craig Groeschel or a Rachel Cruz quote? Rachel Cruz. One of those two. Is that a Rachel Cruz quote?
I don't know who says it.
One of those two said that, yeah.
We'll say Rachel Cruz.
Yeah, there you go.
It probably is because of her book, Love Your Life, Not Theirs.
Yeah.
It's probably in that. So, wow. Way to go, you guys. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Who are your
you.
biggest cheerleaders?
Our whole family was, they were really, not many of them have gone through FPU, but they were all huge supporters. Every single one of them was rooting for us.
Yeah.
They're probably watching right now, and they're probably all pumped. Yeah,
proud of you.
And then we've got some best friends who went through the class when we were teaching it. Desiree and Adam, shout out. So, yep.
And my favorite thing is looking at those three beautiful little kids. And
go ahead and bring them up and introduce them.
Most people don't understand. Like, yeah, they're not going to have debt growing up, but they're going to have a mom and dad who aren't always worried, what if we get laid off? And we're going to have a mom and dad who's worried if we get a flat tire, this thing's over with.
Stress level in the house is approaching zero.
Right.
Yeah.
And Dad's not going to be yelling at the Little League coach because he's got peace in his life. He's not angry at teenagers, right?
Yeah.
It's such a gift.
Yeah. Way to go, guys. Hey, we got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, copy of Total Money Makeover. You can give those away in your financial peace class because you're all of these things. Also going to give you a financial peace membership. You can give that away and get somebody else started on your journey if you want, since it helped you guys so much. That's so
awesome.
Cool. What are the kids' names and ages?
This is Hannah, and she's 6. This is Jonah, and he's 4. And this is Naomi, and today's her birthday. She's turning 9.
Happy birthday, Naomi. Awesomeness. Very cool. Very cool. Well, you guys have absolutely changed their family tree. You've changed everything. I'm so proud of you. Absolute rock star couple, man. You're absolutely amazing. Well done, well done, well done. All right, it's Wes and Lindsay and birthday Naomi and Hannah and Jonah from Colorado. $215,000 paid off, house and everything, while becoming Baby Steps millionaires. Did it all in 38 months, making $120 to $185. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Right, ready, guys? 3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! This is how it's done! Boom! This is the Ramsey Show. Well, with the rising cost of everything these days, a lot of folks are worried about having enough money in their bank accounts to get through the month. Too much month left at the end of the money. The good news is no matter where you're at with your money and no matter the state of the economy, you actually can get on a path to building wealth. At our Building Wealth live events, you're going to learn simple, common sense principles, of course, that build wealth, put you in a position to be outlandishly generous, and not with inflation. You're under the thumb of inflation or recession or whatever other negative words we want to pull out of Washington. Wealth Building Tour is blowing up. We've already sold out 2 nights. The rest of these events are on track to sell out really, really soon. If you're thinking about joining, do not wait. September 13th in Phoenix is already sold out. Sacramento, November the 1st is already sold out. We added a night in Phoenix. It's almost sold out, September the 12th. November the 10th in Minneapolis. San Antonio has like 6 tickets left or something like that. It's almost gone November the 15th. Passes start at $25. You can get a 4-pack starting at $60. So bring some friends, load up, come down to Building Wealth. It's all the Ramsey personalities, not all, but Dr. John Deloney, Ken Coleman, me, Rachel Cruz, and George Camel will all be there. And, we're going to be out in the lobby signing books, taking pictures, all the stuff. And also, doing a panel. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. So it is a great night. And we'd love to see you in Phoenix, Sacramento, Minneapolis, or San Antonio if you get tickets before they're gone. Kelly's with us in Orlando. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. How are you?
Good. What's up?
So me and my husband have been talking about me leaving my job and coming to stay home with our kids. We had kind of come up with a little bit of a long-term plan for me to work into the beginning of next year and kind of try out our budget in the meantime without my income. Mm-hmm. But I have impending, opportunities and promotions, training, and things like that kind of happening at work, and I'm feeling a lot of pressure. And I'm wondering, if we move that timeline up, how many months is good to try out, on just one income.
How much is your house payment?
Mortgage is about $1,500.
Yeah, and what's his take-home pay?
He works on commission a lot, but we think his.
Now, what did he pay taxes on last year?
$100,000.
I hear one of two things: either you are getting encouraged to stay at home and you don't really want to, or you want to be done right now. Which one is it?
It's in between. I do want to be home. I want to be home with my kids, but I guess I'm in a position where a lot of people are depending on me, and all these trainings to get me ready for things, and it's making me feel really anxious about.
You're feeling like you're not having integrity.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't feel pure taking all this training knowing you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you tell them, what happens?
I guess the best case scenario is
they let you work to the end of the year.
We've got this plan. Yeah, they let me work to the end of the year, and the worst case scenario is they let me go.
Yeah. And your experience around the place tells you they'll do what?
I don't know.
How long you been working there?
8 years.
Okay, they get pissed off and fire people like this, or do they have a little grace? What do they do? You know what they do.
Most people who work there have worked there for a really long time. I want to think that I have a good enough relationship with my superior that, she would understand.
Yeah. Okay, first rule is you have to be a person of integrity. That's what's bothering you more than anything in this whole conversation. Okay? And then the chips fall where they fall. Okay? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Nothing. That's what's going to happen. Because what you just described to me is a very stable workplace These are not people who are rash and angry and throwing around. They don't treat people poorly. Otherwise, you don't have a whole bunch of people who been there 8 years. People don't stay if the leadership there sucks. Okay, so you've got something you can count on there. You're just worried that you're not going. You just had a baby. When?
I've got a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Yeah. Okay, that might enter into a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah. And can I ask you a hard question?
Sure.
Do you trust that your husband's going to go work really hard on this commission deal, or do you make the majority of the money? And as part of this, you're afraid to jump onto the boat because you don't know if it's going to be super stable.
Oh no, he's a hard worker. He's wonderful.
Awesome. Well, that's good.
You need to tell them that you're thinking about leaving at the end of the year. You're not 100% sure, but I'm 70 or 80% sure, and I didn't feel right about not telling you this because of all the training and stuff that's coming up, and I didn't feel right. If the roles were reversed, I would want to know if I were you. So I'm treating other people like I want to be treated by telling you. That's ethics.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it lands where it lands. But I'm going to give you an 80 to a 90% probability you work through the end of the year and you don't do all the training because they're going to appreciate your integrity. And these are not rash people. It's not a toxic work environment.
Okay.
Does that give you peace?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we had kind of thought about moving the timeline up to maybe trying out the budget.
You need to start trying out the budget today. From today forward, as soon as you get off the phone, you need to start banking your check. Don't touch it. Put it in a separate savings account. Run the budget on his check. Starting today. Never use any of your money from your work ever again for your house. Hardcore, like it doesn't exist. They put it in savings and don't touch it. No cheating. Because it's not going to be there after you quit at the first of the year. Right?
Yeah.
You're going to make it. You're okay. How much debt have you got?
None.
Good.
Yeah. Go through Christmas, go through Thanksgiving, just your check.
Yeah, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Your house payment's not out of line. That's why I was asking. I was trying to figure out if you could afford it on his income or not. And here's what happens is when you take the training wheels off and Dad lets go of the seat, you will balance the bike.
Yeah.
You will. It's amazing. And then it'll freak you out a little bit that you're actually doing it.
And then you'll wreck, and then you'll get back up, and you'll do it yourself, right?
But here's the thing. Don't touch your check ever again.
Yeah, we wrote out the income to check. It was this just happened very quickly, this decision. It's I just tried it out one day. It's kind of been a long time goal, and I just tried out the budget one day without me and without daycare, and it just worked out.
Yeah, I would think it would. I would think it would. $100,000 a year with a $1,500 house payment and no debt, I would think you could be able to make it. It should work.
Okay.
It's not a hot knife through butter, but it's definitely not on the stress level. And you're all twisted up right now. Post-pregnancy, you're all twisted up about this integrity thing because you are a person of high honor. And not telling them is really riding on you. Am I right?
Yeah, that's what's bothering me.
Yeah, you need to go tell them tomorrow, and you need to bank every check that they give you until the end of the year or until they fire you and live on his check. You can do this.
Okay.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
And if they walk in and they say, "Get out of here. We never liked you anyway." Good riddance.
Yeah.
Right? Take your soul and spirit out of that place.
Yeah, and then go, and if you have to do some kind of part-time gig or something until the end of the year, and do some side hustle stuff till the end of the year, whoopty-doopty. You can do this. Yeah. You can do this. You didn't give me any numbers that tell me that you have to do it differently. But let me tell you what, integrity, people who have integrity win at money. You are a high person of integrity. You are going to win at money. Long term. There may be some bumps along the way, but you're going to win at money. I've got tons of data to back this up and 30 years of experience. You can do this. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's John Deloney, co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.
Headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones this hour. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, is my co-host today. We will be talking about your life and your money. 888-825-5225. Jay is with us in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Jay. What's up?
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm going to be as quick as I can.
Okay.
Other than my mortgage, my wife and I have no debt of any kind. We
Good.
just built our dream house. The balance on the mortgage is $550. I'm sitting on about $500,000 cash. And so my question for you guys is, do I take a substantial amount of this money and just do a recast and nuke my monthly mortgage payment? Do I take a substantial amount of money and invest it in mutual funds? We do have retirement accounts. Or, do I just sit and hold all of it? I don't think that's the best strategy. My wife and I really don't feel comfortable with having less than $100,000 in cash just because of the nature of my job. And honestly, we don't have any children yet, and we want to have at least one child.
What's your household income?
Last year, we made right at $350.
Okay.
What's the nature of your job that is unsettling to your wife?
Well, I'm in real estate full time, and it's been great. But, I do see the market turning where I am.
Yep.
And, you just can't count on selling 40-plus homes a year every year for the rest of your life. It's a bit of a work-life balance. And if we can have a kid, I'm going to take my foot off the gas at some point. I'm not there yet, but that's the long-term play.
Okay. All right. Let me I'm going to assume the goal is what is the answer to the question should be based on what is the shortest distance between where you are and wealth and the shortest distance between where you are and a high quality of life. If those were the same answer, then we would go with that. Agreed?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Pay off your house.
Okay.
As soon as you can. Put $500 on it today, or $400 on it today, or $450 on it today. Take a big chunk of your wonderful income and finish it off by spring. Be 100% debt-free as soon as you possibly can. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen and why I said that. Then you get to decide if I'm right, okay? In studying 10,000-plus millionaires, the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America, and in 30 years of sitting in this seat, walking with people that have become wealthy, the data shows us very, very clearly that the typical millionaire in the first $1 to $5 million of net worth has two things. They have a beefy, consistently funded over a 10 or a 12-year period of time, plus 401k Roth IRA plan in good mutual funds. And they have a paid-for house. That is the typical case of all of them that we've studied. Now, there's exceptions, but the vast majority they have those two things. Almost none of them said we didn't pay off our house, we invested the money in mutual funds, not in a retirement account, and that made us wealthy. That is a theory that that a lot of people talk about, and actually almost no wealthy people do it.
Right.
So the shortest distance from where you are to millionaire, based on the data and the experience I have, is pay off your house as soon as you possibly can, and then continue to steadily invest in your retirement. The second thing that's going to happen that is not from the data, but is from personal experience as well as experience of sitting in this seat, is what you don't realize as a self-employed person and as a salesperson to boot, is that when you have zero debt, your swagger changes. The way you walk changes. The way you deal with clients changes. The way you get rid of high-maintenance, time-sucking, horrible clients and don't take them makes you available to take on the good clients. You will end up making more money because you're peaceful and you are more selective and you're careful. And a broke salesman smells different than one that's not.
Rest, right?
You're going to make more money because you paid off your house. It's hard to grasp that, but all of my 30 years of experience indicates that that's the truth.
And I'll throw one more at you. Okay, number 3. Your wife sits in she's got $500,000 in a checking account, and she still has that little voice saying, we're not safe, we're not safe, we're not safe. If something happens, if the market turns, if something goes sideways, we're not safe, we're not safe. Take all of the risk variables off your table. Then you don't need $100,000. Y'all have never breathed air where you owe nobody anything. And suddenly you don't need $100,000 because if the market turns and you only sell 15 houses, there's nobody starving, right? You're gonna have to change your lifestyle a little bit, but all your bills are covered, right? It changes the air you breathe in your home, which makes you laugh a little bit more. You sleep a little bit different. You don't skip as many workouts. You don't your whole rhythm changes.
When I got a net worth in excess of $10 million and had zero debt, I did not work less hard. I just worked less desperate.
Oh, you should write that book.
You know, I still work. You know, I work my butt off.
Yeah,
I work all. I love what I do. So I'm down here all the time. But I absolutely have zero mathematical reason to work.
Yep.
Zero.
Yep.
And I'm not bragging. It's just this crap I teach works.
That's right. That's right.
And I've been doing it a long time. So sometimes salespeople sell a lot and work really hard and have bad work-life balance, and it's desperation. And sometimes they do it just because they're freaking good at it.
And they like it.
I mean, they're Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Man, they just get her done. Yep. And it's just a thing of beauty to watch. You know? They're in a zone. They're artists with what they do. And it changes your brush strokes. It just does, man. And you hit the ball different. You throw the ball. I mean, the whole thing, I'm telling you, it changes everything. And it's hard to grasp that. And that is, for those of you listening in on this conversation, which is all of you except Jay, because it was with him. But Jay, go pay your house off. Shut up. But no, then anyway, but that's part of, we were talking about this in a meeting a little bit earlier. The borrower is slave to the lender. Now we throw that around and we go, okay, yeah, when all your money comes in and you have to give it all to the bank, that feels like a slave, right? So the Bible's telling the truth in Proverbs 22:7, right? And so, but you know, here's the thing you need to take on is, what are the character qualities and lifestyle and mental health of a slave?
They're trapped.
They don't have any choices.
Right.
Everyone else makes their choices for them.
They've got no freedom. They've got no peace. They don't breathe their own air. Yeah.
It's impossible to be generous.
Right.
Slaves are never generous. You know, you ever met a generous slave? I've never met a slave, so I don't know. But, you know, I mean, think about it. Think about the concept of what slavery does to the psyche.
Yeah.
What slavery does to your psychology, to your body.
It takes everything, and it's generational, right? It goes on it keeps going.
And you don't even know it because you get so used to it that even the people of Israel wanted to go back to Egypt because your spirit is damaged at that point. And we don't grasp all of that when we're just talking about, I want to get out of credit card debt. It's great. Get Sally Mae out of the house. She's a witch. Get her out, okay? But what happens to your life and your spirit, it's a big, big subject. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you're listening to this show, there's a good chance you finally had enough of where you are in life right now. Enough mediocre relationships, enough being stuck in meaningless 9-to-5 jobs, enough struggling to pay for gas, enough struggling to pay for groceries, enough. I make too much to be this broke. The truth is, nothing's going to change until you change it. So this month we're bringing back the Ramsey $10 sale. You can get up to 83% off our #1 best-selling books and tools that'll help you finally take control, like the Total Money Makeover, Know Yourself, Know Your Money, Own Your Past, Change Your Future by Dr. John Deloney, Questions for Human Cards by Dr. John Deloney. I've got a new quick readout called The Momentum Theorem. Or if you're looking for a career change to grow your income, pay off your debt, check out Ken Coleman's resume templates. So, $10, you can finally say enough is enough. Enough! Go to RamseySolutions.com today and check out the store. You'll see what's going on. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They are the #1 online retailer for custom window coverings. When you deal with them, you'll see why. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Always use the magic word, the promo code RAMSEY.
All right, today's question comes from Jane in Wisconsin. My daughter is 15 and has recently experienced some mental health challenges. I'm concerned about her ability to manage the money her grandparents have been investing for her. I currently manage the account, but it will transfer to her when she turns 16. Should I allow the account to transfer to her but hide the login details or transfer the money into my name until she turns 21? Both feel morally wrong and maybe illegal. Is there a legal way to ensure she can't access it until she's 21? So, Dave, my just operating rule is never lie to your kids. This is complex because her child's obviously struggling with some challenges here. I don't know the legality. You've probably seen this question more than I have. I don't know why you can hide something that transfers to a kid, but also this kid's a minor.
Yeah. So it doesn't transfer to the kid. You're confused somewhere.
Okay.
All bank accounts, all mutual funds for people under 21 have a custodian on them, an adult.
Or 18 or 21?
18, 21, depending on your state, whatever. Okay. But I mean, you're not 21 if it's mutual funds. You're not able to enter into contract law, which opening a savings account is, in any state in the union when you're not an adult.
There you go. Yep.
And so now the trust may transfer to her, whatever, but she doesn't suddenly become the owner of $1 million at 16 years old or whatever this amount of money is. It just doesn't happen. Now, but I'm with John. Just tell her the truth. Hey, I'm walking with you through these mental health things, and you don't need the pressure of this right now. The money is yours. It'll be there for you. You'll have access to it when you are healthy, and you are able to make good decisions with it, and like when you're an adult. Nobody's going to do anything with it. I'm not buying me a new car with it. I'm not doing anything like that. The money's there. It's yours, sweetie. It's okay. And it may be only $1,000. I don't know what it is. We don't know from this. And sometimes people get it in their head, this is a lot of money. It's not immoral and it's not illegal to care for your children. They're minors. It's immoral and to not care for your children.
Or to hand somebody who's struggling $1 million.
Yeah, it's not ethical. Yeah. Now, if she was 23, now you got all kinds of issues.
Well, you really don't have any issues. It's her money.
Moral and legal.
It's her money.
Well, I mean, you can't do that then. You just have to talk. You could say, you could offer to become her power of attorney until she gets well, but that you would do that for your friend who's 32 also.
That's right.
And so, but you've got a minor here, and They just they have a right to ethical treatment. They have a right to nurturing. They have a right to nutrition. They have a right to not be abused. But they don't have ownership rights as minors.
Right.
My car by the 3-year-old is not actually a true statement.
Well, and I think we forget sometimes, Dave.
Had this negotiation with one of Rachel's the other day. So.
I imagine. But we've all agreed as a society. We think you should be 16 before you get behind a 3,000-pound metal missile headed down the highway. Let's wait till you're 18. Let's wait till you're 21 for some of these. But then we turn around and we just ask kids to make so many heavy decisions. Or what do you want to do when you're 15 years old or 14 years old? Man, they need adults in their lives to help keep them well and help keep them whole.
It's okay to give them the information, but not the weight.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to carry this for you. It's going to be here for you when you need it.
Yeah.
But you don't get to, you're not going to go buy a $50,000 car because grandma gave you $100,000.
Right.
You're not going to do it, and because you're not capable of making that decision. And so someone will be assigned as the custodian until she's 18. There's currently someone. I currently manage the account, but it will transfer to her when she turns 16. I don't know where you got your information, Jane, but something's confused here.
Hey, let me ask you this. If she took that money and rolled it into a 529, is that a way to shelter it from her kid and save it for college?
I don't know what the source of the money is.
Okay.
And whether that's going to be okay. I just think you just say no.
Yeah, I don't like stealing. I don't like
you're doing heroin and I'm not giving you any money.
Yeah.
Sue me. And if you want to go live somewhere else or whatever, and you want to get a lawyer, then you can do that, I guess. But I'm not giving you. I'm not going to assist you in harming yourself.
Yeah.
And misusing this money is harming you and the future you. And I just love you too much to let you do that. And so, another version of that we always said was we had Uniform Transfer to Minors Act. Mm-hmm. Which is before there were 529s. That's how you save money. It's just, all that means is you open a mutual fund in the kid's name, but you're the custodian, just like we're talking about. And parents would always say, well, I don't know. I mean, my kid turns 16 or turns 21. I mean, what if they're doing heroin? I would just go, well, technically, they're 21. It's their money. I guess they've got a well-financed heroin addiction. Or you can just look at them and go, find it. I'm stealing it. That's technically illegal.
Right.
But, I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to take care of my child.
Right.
And if some of you don't like it, screw it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it anyway. So, no, I'm not going to let you kill yourself because I saved money for you. That's dumb. So, and sometimes the culture is dumb. Call DHS. Everybody does, so why not? Why not you too? So, have at it, baby. Good luck with that. Let's see how that turns out for you. You're still none of you going to find it because I'm the only one got the codes. And so, and I'm just that guy, because I'm just going to, it was my money to start with.
Right.
That I gave you. And now we're not going to let you, so you just kind of have to have the old school parent idea of like, I'm in charge.
Right. And I'm going to love you even when it's hard.
Yeah. The inmates don't run the freaking asylum at the Ramseys. All right. Up next, Savannah in Olympia, Washington. Hi, Savannah. How are you?
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I have a question about a potential job change for my husband and what our next steps should be. We are almost finished with baby step 3A, and my husband is looking at moving divisions within his work. We are unsure if the pay will be the same. He is excited for this new opportunity, but it feels like he feels like it would be a better fit for our family because it's a telework position. My husband's current position is demanding overtime hours where he is on the road anywhere between 3 to 5 days a week, and it is negatively affecting our family. Financially, our rent and expenses has increased dramatically over the past year, and there isn't a lot of wiggle room. Without overtime,
Stop. Why did your expenses increase dramatically over the last year?
Rent has increased almost $800, and we have our 1-year-old is now eating, and we are now homeschooling.
What does your husband make? What does your husband make?
He currently makes $90.
And what would he go to if he took this job? Do you know? You don't know yet.
It depends.
You don't know.
So we get Seattle pay locality now.
What's the worst case scenario?
The worst case scenario is that we lose $20,000
Okay.
a year.
Okay. Here's another one. C, none of the above.
Okay.
Go get a job where he has a life and makes 90. He doesn't have to stay with his company.
You've backed yourself into a corner.
You feel like you've narrowed yourself down. You have only 2 options. Jeez, there's 9 million places you can work. Why do you only have 2 options? No. Change jobs. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Jeremy and Becky are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi, Dave. We're good.
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Denver, Colorado.
Welcome. Good to have you guys. We're glad to have you. How much debt did you pay off?
$125,000.
Woo! How long did that take?
23 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started at 65 and then up to 150 and now around 110.
Awesome. So what do you guys do for a living?
I'm a physical therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a quality engineer.
Ah, okay. So you turned it on to get out of debt and then turned it back down so you could have a life.
We had a baby.
Oh, there's that. Okay.
So I'm part-time and I'm home with my daughter.
That's a good life to have right there. I like that life. So what kind of debt was this $125,000?
My grad school student loans.
All of it?
All of it.
Straight up Sally Mae.
She's out of the house.
Decided to kick her out so we could have a baby.
That's right.
I like it. Need to have room. Sally, you got to leave.
It's only a 2-bedroom house. We needed extra space for the baby.
That's it, Sally. You can't stay. I like it. I like it. I like it. So what happened 23 months ago? How'd you get connected to this whole Ramsey Way thing?
Well, it was a little bit before that. We got Gazelle Intense 23 months ago. But right before that, my husband lost his job. Yep. And then we realized, oh my gosh, we have a lot of debt. This is not good. And then COVID.
Of course.
And then everyone thought that they were going to lose their jobs, including myself. And we were like, this is really bad. And we had read your book. We had gotten the really old school FPU from a patient of mine, and then we did that. But then, beginning of COVID, you did the free 2-week FPU trial. So we just blew through that and said, let's do it.
Binged it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Instead of Netflix, we binged FPU.
That's better than Tiger King.
It was. We missed Tiger King. Yeah, we did FPU instead.
You missed nothing.
Oh, way to go, you guys. So that got you completely geared up and ready to go in 23 months, game on. Jobs come back in, and you just start smacking the thing around.
Yeah, everyone stayed at home, and I got 2 extra jobs. I was working 12 hours a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, we were really going. So yeah, I'm glad to not have to do that.
And what's your
anymore.
baby's name?
Bridget.
And how old is she?
She turns 1 year in 2 days.
Okay, so kind of in the middle of this, Bridget comes along.
Yeah.
So you're working like crazy while you're super pregnant.
Yes.
She was,
Yeah, I slowed down a little bit, as one does when they start to waddle.
We slowed it down to a waddle. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
I like that.
Instead
That's
of a
good.
side hustle, it was a side crawl.
Side shuffle.
Side waddle.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I like it. That's good. That's a good phrase. That's good. That's smart. So you guys just, I mean, how long y'all been married?
It'll be 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 years.
In October.
So 2 years of the 6 years you've been doing this stuff, and then COVID, of course, is part of the sentence, right? But COVID and all this, and yeah, it's like something like we have to have this qualifier and everything we do for at least the next 5 years or so, and then we'll move on and forget about. Well, anyway, yeah, let's forget about it. So now,
let me ask this: I'm going to throw this out there, and feel free just to dismiss it, okay? But I hear this a lot doing Debt Free Screams for the last few years. When it comes to one person has a lot of student loans, there ends up being some shame on the part of the person who has the student loans, and there becomes a little bit of frustration that I'm having to work like crazy, and I kind of lost my wife because of her student loans. How did y'all navigate that? Because it's just hard.
It was hard. It definitely was hard. You know, I had just paid my student loans.
To be honest,
I know he was. He's like, she's holding my hand, but there's millions watching.
Yeah, I had just paid my student loans off a couple of years before that, and you know, when I found out, because I didn't really actually know how much she had when I found out, and we started this journey together, I was just like, oh, how are we going to do this? There's no way. It just seems like a mountain we can't climb.
Yeah.
And we climbed a lot of mountains in Colorado.
Yes, we did. But we just, I mean, finding FPU and just buckling down and chipping away at it, you know.
Kind of puts all the emotions of shame or resentment, either one, in the rearview mirror when you got a goal.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And knowing that she loved her job, too, you know, it was worth
worth cleaning up the mess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Very good, you guys. Well done. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Who are your biggest cheerleaders?
Well, I feel like everyone thought we were really crazy at first because everyone, you know, especially during COVID, they were like, why are you going out? Why are you working? Like, you need to stay home and quarantine. I'm like, yeah, but I cannot live with like this anymore. And then as the ball got rolling, I think all of our family jumped on board. You know, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law are here today celebrating with us. So
that's good.
It took a minute, but I think everyone was pretty excited afterwards.
Yeah, once they realized how much we did in 1 year, they were all like, "Oh wow, this is possible."
Yeah.
Like, you guys go.
How hard was it making that kind of money and driving a used car?
The car reminded us a lot because I feel like I had to keep taking it into the shop to get it fixed. We cash flowed a lot of stuff during this time too.
Yeah.
I mean, paying for the baby,
dogs, ACL surgeries.
Dog costs a lot of money. Thank
They're
God
what?
she's cute. Oh,
Yeah.
her knee. She had 2 knee surgeries during all this.
Wow.
Dogs are expensive.
Yeah, they are. They can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially free dogs. They end up
that's
costing
pretty
me a lot
much.
of money.
That's exactly what this is. Yeah.
I never had a free one that ended up that way. Free.
Yeah.
So way to go, you guys. So proud of y'all. Thanks. Well done. Very well done. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in this story for sure. You're on your way. Total Money Makeover. You can give that away to somebody maybe who is a doubter. Maybe you can get them on your team now and get them going. And also Financial Peace University, a 1-year membership. Cool. And the since you've seen it, there's all brand new videos. Not all, but largely. Dr. John Deloney and George Camel, Rachel Cruz, and I are all in there now. And it's really, really strong. So go back through it if you want, or give it away. Either one, whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
It's all good. And so very, very well done. Now, what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Don't give up. Just don't give up.
No, we had to make major changes to our lifestyle, but we did it together. I feel like having a partner, and you can do it without, you know, a spouse too, but it was really nice to have someone there on the same page and really working through it together.
Yeah, the built-in accountability, the built-in encouragement is really cool.
Yeah.
When it's working that way, it's working right. Yeah.
I mean, we made some other good, you probably be mortified. We've learned being in Nashville that there's a lot of really great meat and yummy like chicken, like Nashville hot chicken and stuff, but we became vegetarian during all this to save money.
Okay.
and minimalist to save money too. So
that's all good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We love the life we live now.
You get to choose what you want to do. That's what this is about.
We have a lot of freedom to make choices that we didn't get to make before.
Less worry.
All right. Is Bridget going to be in the shot with us while we do a debt-free scream? You want to bring her in?
Oh, it'll be maybe a debt-free whisper. She's
Okay.
really tired.
We don't want her to be scared. Yeah, we don't want to scare her, but we do need to celebrate your incredible milestone. Well done, Jeremy and Becky and Bridget, Denver, Colorado. $125,000 paid off in 23 months, making 65 to 150 to 110. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yay! She made it. Great. Woo-hoo! This is how it's done. This is how it's done. I love it. I love it. I love it. Doesn't get any better than this. So proud of you guys. Very, very cool.
One of my favorite things is when somebody makes a choice. I'm going to set down my shame. I'm going to set down my resentment. And you mentioned you got to have a goal, and I think you got to have a plan, something you can, a track you can follow. I'm going to take a couple steps. I'm going to take a little step. I'm going to take a little step, and then we're going to get there together. But it took two people saying, I'm going to set this thing down and quit carrying it, and I just love that.
Yeah, and then it's in the rearview mirror.
Yes.
Because you move on.
Because we're going this way.
Yeah.
That's right.
Love it. This is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Own Your Past, Change Your Future, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Mitchell is with us in Salt Lake City. Hi, Mitchell. How are you?
How's it going, guys? Thanks so much for having me on.
Sure. What's up?
So, my whole life I've been pretty financially stable. I would consider myself a frugal person. Recently, my world got turned upside down. My wife and I, we just had triplets.
Oh!
Whoa!
Yeah, yeah, that's usually the reaction I get from people. And it's just really just thrown a wrench in what and how I've been planning financially. So a few months ago, well, November of last year, we got pregnant, and right around that time, we had bought our first house. It was actually a duplex. And the numbers were so good on the duplex that we could actually live in one side completely free. The other side was actually paying for the whole mortgage and some. So we were planning on living in the duplex for years, a long time, not having to make any payments. We have debt, obviously, but we were comfortable with the debt in that house. And then when we found out we were having triplets, there's just no way we can fit in there. It's really small. It's old, and we just don't want to raise our family in there. So now, currently, we are under contract to buy our first house, and I'm just freaking out because I hate debt, and I just feel like I'm making a bad financial decision. But I just wanted to reach out to you guys and see, what your thoughts are on what I'm doing.
Did you sell the duplex?
So we haven't sold the duplex because now we have renters on both sides. I'm currently living with my parents, and they're helping us with the triplets.
Sell the duplex.
And sell the duplex?
Yes.
And even so, and the cash flow on the duplex. So right now we're
it cash flows if they pay.
You're right.
They don't always pay. You have stress because you're carrying a bunch of debt that you can't on a rental property that you can't afford. And if it doesn't work, it's going to go sideways, and you're feeling that in your chest. along with the weight of 3 triplets standing on your chest.
Yeah. So you're right. That stress does. I mean, I'm just stressed all the time now.
Yeah,
like
I understand.
No matter what the scenario is, I'm just stressed out.
Well, it's because
The
you're trying to
duplex-
keep everything. You're trying to keep the past dream and stitch it to the future new reality, and they don't fit together. Dump the duplex, move on with your brand new awesome life, but it's a completely different life than your little plan.
You haven't got it through your head yet. Everything is different now.
Oh no! Yeah.
Yes, he does.
I know that everything's different now.
So, how much is the house payment on the new house going to be?
So on the new house, the payment would be about $3,100.
$3,100. Nice house.
$3,100 on the new house.
And what is the household income take-home pay?
So household income. So my wife currently, she's not working. She's full-time mom. And,
She had triplets.
Yep.
She's for sure working, dude.
Oh, I know. She works a lot harder than I do, and I let her know that.
She's not working outside the home. Okay, yeah. So what do you make, dude?
So I'm doing about $200,000 to $300,000 a year.
You're fine. Sell the duplex. Here's what's going on, okay? You are, because I'm you. That's how I can it's easy for me to read this. Because I'm like a super planner. I mean, I know what I'm going to be doing in March right now.
Yep.
Okay? It's ridiculous how ridiculously anal I am about this stuff. I mean, I love having a plan. When we go on vacation, I know what we're going to be doing the whole time on vacation, or it is not relaxing to me.
Yeah.
It's not relaxing to me to not know. Not knowing is stressful for me, okay? You're that guy. You're like that, right?
I'm the same person.
You had this all dialed in, and the car hit the wall. I mean, it was like NASCAR. Engine up in the stands, doors flew off. Your plan just disintegrated. Thank goodness it was for a joyful reason.
Yeah, no, they're a blessing.
But it completely, so now what you've got to do is you got to regroup, and it's going to take you a little while to sweep the corners out of all the wreckage and now build a new plan with the new situation, and you make a ton of money. You're in a great situation. You got 3 wonderful babies. You got a wonderful wife wanting to take care of them, and now you got a nice house to stay in. Instead of that cheap butt duplex you had stuck your wife in, making $300,000.
Yeah. I haven't even mentioned yet that we also need to buy a van because they don't fit in our cars.
So save up and buy a little cheap van, or pay whatever save up whatever you can pay cash for, and then move up a little bit in van later and get a little better one later.
That's the other thing is people, these triplets are teeny tiny little humans, and we feel like, oh, I'm bringing home a 12-pound human, or a 10-pound human, or a 6-pound human. They need their own bedroom, their own furniture set, their own. They don't.
They don't take up a mushroom.
They don't
yet.
Right? They will, but they don't. You've got a few years.
They need 3 car seats.
They need 3 car seats.
Put that in a sedan.
That's right.
You know,
be uncomfortable and annoying and all that, but you can do it. Right?
Yep. You're going to be fine, Mitchell. You're just going through.
Congratulations. You're in shock.
Yeah, you're just going through shock. I mean, you're a planner, and your plan got destroyed.
Yeah.
And until you get your plan rebuilt, you're going to feel the stress, and it's going to take you a little while to get accustomed to the new rhythm of life and put the plan in place, and then you're going to be there. But I mean, it's what you say all the time. You got to grieve the thing that what you thought it was going to be is not going to be. So you got to grieve that and go, I thought this kind of I can't say out loud babies suck, but 3 of them at one time.
It's hard.
It kind of sucks a little bit, you know. And then there's all the awesomeness, but there's a little bit of you that goes, ah.
That's right.
You know, and so that's reality, and that's okay. But you're not allowed to say that out loud.
I know.
I'll get trashed on Twitter just because I said that. So
but
I get trashed on Twitter every day. So
that's
it's
exactly
okay.
right.
It's just
hey, so let me ask you a mechanics question. Let's say he was going to profit $100,000 from the sale of this duplex.
Yep.
It'd appreciate that much.
Yep.
Would it be best for him to take? I'm assuming his house payment's probably about $500,000. It's going to be his mortgage. So would it be better for him to put $100,000 down and drop that $3,100 a month to $2,800 a month, or to just go ahead and make the loan and then immediately dump $100,000 on top of it?
Because I think he's already got the house.
Okay. All right.
No. It's under contract.
It's under contract. Yeah.
Yeah. If you get the duplex sold in time, put it as additional down payment and have a smaller payment.
Because that would be like because that's a.
I would throw it all at that, unless you need a little of it to buy a van. But
there you go.
The rest of it, I mean, let's be debt. He said he was debt free. Yeah. So what kind of van are we going to buy? Making $300,000. I mean, go get you.
I like the idea of collapsing that monthly payment as much as I can.
Yeah. Well, I always put everything down on the house I can above the emergency fund.
There you go.
And above, in this case, a new van and the second and third baby bed, and so whatever it is you got to buy, right? And so it's a thing. But Mitchell, you're going through a normal human adjustment to a shock to your system, and that causes stress.
Right.
And if you didn't feel all of this in the form of stress, you would be psychotic.
You need to go see a doctor, right? Yeah.
And so, normal humans, when they go through what you have gone through, have a moment, that, just so the good news is you're normal.
Right. And let's chip away at it, right? Because if you're a planner, you've already started thinking, oh gosh, I'm going to have $100,000 a semester for these 3. And so don't go 20 years down the road and start creating catastrophes that you've got to solve today. Just start following the plan, chip away at it and chip away at it.
Old minister was working the altar, and a friend of mine's young boy came forward and years ago and told me the story. He became a pastor later, and he said this guy was a visiting evangelist, and he went up and he asked for prayer. He said, I'm 14 years old, and he said, I'm having lustful thoughts about girls. And the minister laid his hands on him and he prayed, Lord, thank you, this boy is normal.
Just relieve you of the stress.
Yeah. I mean, you're normal, Mitchell.
That's
right.
Right.
This is what you're in. You're in this situation, and so you're normal. Thank goodness you're okay. Now, you're going to work through the things that are causing you anxiety, limit them, develop a plan, cut loose the old stuff from the old dream. The duplex is gone, and we move forward into the new dream.
You don't have time to be a landlord.
And then everything will calm back down, and you'll get your little planning self together. I know this because I have to do it all the time. This is how I live my life, so I'm right there with you, brother. Good question, and congratulations, Mitchell.
Man. Way to go, Mitch.
Happy 3 times over. Awesome. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and have actual amazing relationships. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. David is in L.A. Hi, David. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I need your advice because I'm on the verge of making a serious life decision.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently in the process of buying a condo with the mother of my children. We're not married. We've been together for 10 years. The thing is, like I said, we're not married or engaged, and I don't plan on asking her to marry me anytime soon. I wanted to get your advice on what you think we should do because, like I said, we are in the process of buying this condo.
Okay. Well, all of the data that I know regarding a situation like yours, the legal problems that what you're entering into is going to present you if things go sideways. The future prosperity of this family unit tells me that marriage is your best answer. Now, I'm curious, if you're willing to have babies with her and buy a condo with her, those are both very large decisions. Why would you not marry her?
That's a great point. It's just mainly.
You said it kind of like as a flex, like I'm not married to her. I'm not even gonna ask her to marry. Like, dude, you're already married. Like you're
doing all the stuff.
You got kids with her. Like you are connected to this woman for the rest of your life.
It's like a technicality now.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, what are you scared of?
I just feel like every time we get to like at the finish line, there's just something that brings me back, and it's mainly just like she has a terrible problem with communication. Not just with me, but
dude, it's too late to find that out if you bought a condo and had 3 kids.
You made humans together, bro. It's the ship sailed. Now you get to decide whether you want that ship to be in the harbor and have smooth sailing ahead, or it to be a disaster. You're already out in the water.
So let me tell you this:
like my mental aspect of how I see the future. Then, right?
No. Here's what you're saying. I don't want to marry her. I just want to buy a house and raise kids with her together for forever.
Well, the thing is, like, we've had kids together, and I've been doing my best, to keep. I want to raise my kids. I want our kids to be in a family-oriented, environment.
Then make a family. Make a family. Seal it up.
So you're saying just put up with like whatever?
No.
Problems we're having?
No,
dude, you're gonna put up with them anyway.
You're buying a house.
If you live with her with kids, it's the same woman.
Yeah.
Whatever problems she's got, whatever problems you got, they're gonna be there already.
Hold on, let me ask. I think I get what you're asking. You're gonna buy a house and y'all are gonna live there together, but you're gonna see other people who are gonna make you happy.
No.
You're going to be true to her?
It's because, and I've been these 10 years.
Okay.
They've been together. It's just the other day I saw one of a YouTube video, Dave Ramsey, and he was kind of going in on the girl because she was getting a place with her fiance. She wasn't married yet. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, like, whoa, like, I wonder what he would say to my situation because...
Okay, here's what I'm saying. I would get married. Because, dude, you already are married. You just haven't technically done it. So.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, here's what that does. It does several things. One is it affects your relationship, and it affects your all's. It's the last, like you said, over the finish line. It's the last step over the line, and it's going to force you guys to deal with the relational issues you've got, number one. But number two, the reason you actually called was this. It solves all your legal issues. Because what you're doing under California law is I'm not an attorney, but this is the truth if you call an attorney, is you're forming a general partnership. And both of you are on the deed and both of you are on the loan. And if you have a blow up and she takes off, you've got this thing and you can't even sell it without her signature. And you can't find her because she's hiding at her uncle's in Idaho.
Or vice versa.
Exactly. But if you are married, then you would be going through what's called a divorce, and there's a process for handling this deed and getting the property out of your all's names. But you don't have the legal thing is like vastly more complicated when you're shacking up than when you are married. In every state, even California, which is immensely complicated. But even there. Okay, and so, but on top of that, I'm just being your old ugly uncle, boomer uncle, right? And I'm just loving you, and I'm saying, hey, man, I love you, David, and I want you to have the best life for you, for her, for those kids. And all the data and all the research indicates marriage trumps shacking up for the high quality of life, the likelihood of wealth building, the propensity to succeed in your career. All of these things are accelerated. The researchers call it the marriage advantage. They find that people who are married versus people who are single, whether shacking up or not, have an advantage, an economic advantage over a period of 30 or 40 years. We see a lift among the marrieds versus the singles. I'm not picking on you singles. I'm quoting research to you. Right. This is actual freaking data and stuff, like truth, in other words. And so that's what and so, yeah, that's a thing. And so what we would tell you, because we care about you, not because we're thumping you with a Bible or something like that, it just works better. Life works better this way. And you're doing it all anyway. You just got to admit this to yourself.
And let me lean into something you mentioned here, brother. You said, am I supposed to just take this?
No.
The answer is no. The answer is, you're telling me she's got a communication problem, and you know what? She probably does. I trust you. And if I sat down with her, she would say, I've been with this guy for 10 years, and I'm not good enough. I'm unsafe. I feel like I got to yell to get his attention. I got to scream, and then you hear that as a communicate, and now y'all are in a dance. So you want a path forward? Here's the path forward. You walk home, and you get on a knee, not to propose, to say, I'm sorry. For 10 years, I've sent you a message that this is what your value is. I'm always going to hold you at arm's length until you get... I'm going first, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you, can we learn to communicate in a different way so that we can get married and move on with our lives together?
And the last way to look at this is, if one of those 3 kids is one of your daughters, how do you want them handled, David? Would you put up with this on behalf of one of them?
For a decade?
I would have run you off if you was around one of mine, because you didn't know whether to paint or get off the ladder. This is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Own Your Past, Change Your Future, is my co-host today. You've heard the news. We're in a recession. The stock market is falling. Inflation's out of control. All right, everybody, calm down. If you're investing, this is not a time to panic. Breathe. Don't jump off the investing roller coaster because of the gloom and doom. Nobody gets hurt on a roller coaster except those that jump off in the middle of the ride. History shows us that the economy recovers time and time again. It has on all the great crashes, and this isn't even one of the great crashes. This is just a little whoop. That's all this is. You ready? Hey, if you need help finding an investment pro who can walk you through this, teach you about it, check out our SmartVestor program. It's where we have vetted pros who serve with excellence. They'll be there to help you figure out what's best for you, and they do it with the heart of a teacher. So you then learn why you're investing, where you're investing, and it works for you. RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor. If you want to do investing in mutual funds, it's a good time because they're on sale right now. The market's down. Yeah, it's a sale. They're having a sale right now. Don't miss the sale. And that's the way you look at it when you're investing long-term, boys and girls. So, RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor. So, John, more people now live together that are not married than live together that are married, statistically.
Okay.
Demographically speaking. And so when we take a call like that, then, of course, we will get the hate mail for the next several weeks in form of social media comments and so forth about me being a fuddy-duddy, which is actually accurate.
That's 100% accurate.
100% true. And so it's not really hate mail. It's just an accurate thing. But here's the thing, okay? So I remember when my kids were in college and they were dating their serious people that they're going to marry kind of thing. And I started kind of wondering about, because I didn't have the benefit of any of this. I just got hitched, you know, and so I didn't have the benefit of this. So here's some interesting numbers. You hear that 50% of the marriages end in divorce. You heard that?
Yep.
Okay. That is, #1, not true.
Not accurate. That's
okay. Right. But what is interesting statistically is this. If before you get married, you graduate from college, both of you, if both of your parents are still married to their original spouse, which you don't control that variable,
right.
Okay? If you end up with a household income in excess of $50,000 a year, if you have children after you are married, not before you are married. If you have children after you are 22 years old, not before, you are 90% likely to stay married if you have those variables.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So when you
actually,
hear
it's interesting, but it's
all the
not at all.
marriages
It makes
fall,
sense.
all the marriages fall apart, what you're dealing with is 16-year-olds with virtually zero education, all kinds of economic problems, no incomes, and shacking up and kids everywhere, and you're mixing that in with the people who are living life in order, so to speak.
You painted a picture of stressor after stressor after stressor after stressor
that are removed.
Then you have to do. I don't know anybody who enters into marriage and it all just works out how you thought it was going to work out.
Never.
But if you enter into this relationship and there's all these other stressors.
If you have a level of education, a level of income, and you did things in the right order, and you come from a background of that kind of thing. Oh, the other one is if you regularly attend a religious service.
Yeah.
Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, whatever denomination, all that. Regularly attend. If you do that, boy, it goes way up.
Right.
It goes way up. So people that don't have any kind of faith walk at all, they don't have the skills that you develop when you're in an academic rigor. They don't have the income. They've got the stress. Now, does that mean you can't make it?
Of course
no,
not.
it doesn't mean you can't make it. I'm just saying when you take about 4 or 5 of those variables out of the equation, your likelihood of divorcing is very close to zero.
And so we like to blame the institution.
Of marriage.
This is our culture now, is just pull apart every institution. We want to blame marriage, and actually there's this line of stressors, right, that we can, it is a better representative of what's actually happening here.
So that's why, like when that young man calls and they're getting ready to buy a house, they've got 3 kids. Now they did that they did 1 of the 2 of those out of order. I don't know what his income was. I don't know his education level was. I don't know what their background was as far as their parents goes. So I don't know all those things. But I do know several of the variables right there that indicate he's probably going to be successful, but he's afraid.
Yep, and he's stressed.
He's afraid that he's not going to do this right.
Yeah.
So for 10 years he's been standing with 1 foot on the boat, 1 on the dock,
right.
And can't make up his mind whether he's going to go on the trip or whether he's going to stay home.
Right.
And that's the thing, and and what ends up happening is those kids are being raised in that environment, and then they're set up for the same things. It's not to pick on him, but these are things that you talk about changing your family tree.
Right.
Some people talk about breaking the family curse.
Yeah.
Or the things, my whole family, I hear people say, my family's been in debt all the way back as far as we can find. I'm the first person in my family tree we can ascertain that's ever been debt free. Yeah. I hear people say that. That's not true for me, right. But I hear people say that. And so they broke the chain. Yeah. They broke the curse. Or I'm the first person to graduate from college. Or I'm the first person to wait to have kids until I was married.
Right.
I'm the first person to regularly attend a religious service in our family tree. You can start to see these things, how it breaks the curses of that, how it breaks the things off. But those are choices that you get to make, folks.
That's right.
You get to choose this.
Yeah.
And you can choose. So what I loved about that piece of research was that, gosh, I could tell my kids this stuff and say, if you do this stuff in the right order, this is like a formula or at least a probability. You can increase your probability of success by doing this. You can increase your probability of success by doing that. You can increase your probability of success by doing that. And then they can live that out because of that knowledge base.
Right. And so when the storms come, which they will,
yep,
I've got as few stressors in the pipeline as possible.
Yeah.
Based on some of those choices. I love that.
Yeah. So it's a big deal. I mean, it's pretty scary out there. So, a lot of people have a lot of different views on these things, but it's not for me, yes, I'm a person of faith, and yes, I'm a Christian, and yes, I'm going to tell you what the Bible says if you ask me, for sure. But the other thing I like to look at is I love finding the data that kind of supports the assumptions of my faith.
Right.
I don't have to just go on the assumptions.
Right.
And so that's what I'm talking about here. In other words, God talks about being married.
Yeah. Ta-da!
One man to one woman. Hello, hello. He talks about that. And so when you actually function that way, you can assume as a Christian person that goes, okay, then God said to do it, right? Yeah, that's good, and I do believe that. But it sure is cool when you can find all this other stuff out here in the actual research that goes, oh, that must be why he said that. Because it works this way better.
That your life, things. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I need to add to that.
No, I mean, that's it. That's it. It's the same thing with the money stuff we teach. Borrower is slave to the lender. Get out of debt. You could just say, because the Bible said, don't be a slave. It's silly. Don't do it. But you could also go, oh, well, here's what the data says from the Millionaire Research Study. This says when you do this, you're going to have more likelihood to be this, and you don't think like a slave anymore, and you tend to prosper in your workplace, and you tend to do this and tend to do that. And it's very interesting to me.
And I just keep going back to that solving for peace, right? What are the things I can do to you gave me another piece of data? That's good. I'm gonna go down that trail because it's gonna help my life be a little bit better. I'm gonna do this because it's gonna help my life be a little bit better. And it's also, we've got to stop. Oh, that's a thing we've been doing for a long time. Let's blow it up. We got to stop doing that.
Just because.
We got to stop.
We got to stop. Yeah. Yes, I'm a fuddy-duddy. The problem is I'm a well-informed one. This is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host. Mark and Stephanie are with us. They are in Portland, Oregon, and it says on my screen you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done. How much did you pay off?
We paid off $705,000 in 144 months.
Wow. And your range of income during that time?
We started at $45,000 and went up to $310,000 and now back down to $205,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm in software sales.
And I used to work at automotive dealerships as a fixed ops director, but now I'm driving a semi-truck.
Cool. Very cool. All right. What's the house worth?
Well, we paid $400 for it, and but now it's worth about $750.
Awesomeness. And I'm guessing that $705,000 over 12 years you paid off your house.
We did, sir.
Woo!
Wow.
Talking to weird people. How old are you two?
We are 39 and 40 years old.
I love it. And how much in your retirement accounts?
We have about $350.
So you are baby steps millionaires.
Yes, sir, we are.
I'm so proud of y'all, and not even 40.
That was our goal. We set a goal years ago. We wanted to be debt-free by 30, and we wanted our house paid off by 40.
So you're millionaires by 40, and people say rich people stole all their money. Where'd you steal yours?
Sweat equity, sir.
How much of this did you inherit? Because rich people always inherit all their money.
We did get a small inheritance from my grandma after we'd already paid everything off.
How much was the small inheritance?
It was about $40,000.
So it's safe to say mathematically you did not become millionaires because of stealing it or because of an inheritance.
No, sir. We already passed that finish line before we received it.
You're pretty stinking amazing. Awesome. So proud of y'all. How's it feel?
It feels pretty incredible. We, it was kind of a long journey to get here for sure. We had all kinds of normal weird debt of bedroom furniture. We owed the tool truck for Mark's job in the car industry, and student loans, cars, personal loans, everything. And, it's been a long road, and we were really, really thankful that we were able to get to the finish line because it was
12 years is real.
It wasn't a short journey for us.
Yeah, 12 years is a long time, but that's a normal track for paying off a house is 10 to 12 years. That's what we find among millionaires. Well done.
So how is this altering how you live? Because you've been living a certain way for more than a decade, and now you've got to live completely different. What are y'all doing differently?
I think we're still figuring that out. After so long, we've kind of just stuck to it. We're kind of thinking of maybe doing some upgrades and things, but right now, at least for me, I'm kind of still doing the same thing.
Here's what's so cool about being a millionaire and making a couple $100,000 a year and having no payments is you can do anything that you want, whenever you want to.
That's something we really learned last year is that we were really heads down focused on getting to baby step 7 and paying off the house. And we were working a lot. We, we're doing everything we could to reach this goal. And we realized that it was detrimental to our health, especially to Mark's health, that he was in the hospital several times from stress from his job. And we sat down and we said, all right, well, we're 6 months away from our goal. Do we want to stick with it, or do we want to have a life-changing event and pause? And made the decision the next day for Mark to take a pause in his career, and he took 5 months off and sort of decided to reset and go a completely different direction. And had we not been on this program and not had our emergency fund and everything set up, we wouldn't have had that option. But it was such a blessing to us to be able to make that life choice for his health, for our family, and we're in a much better place. And we found that, making a lot of money, while it's difficult, it can be done, but that's not what it's about. It's about creating a better life for your family and yourselves.
Well, and that's the net result of the whole thing, is you're controlling the controllables.
Absolutely.
So what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You paid off your house in 144 months. You're baby steps millionaires by the time you're 40. What's the key to doing all this?
Well, definitely the budget. I will say that before we got married, I came from a family that didn't watch the finances and didn't do a budget. And when we were dating, Mark came from a family that did. And we started to talk about money, and he flat out said to me, he said, either you do a budget or we're done dating, because I'm not going to put up with this for the rest of my life.
Whoa.
And probably wasn't the best approach. I would recommend your approach better, Dave.
You're a real romantic, Mark.
But it definitely got the job done, and I got on board. So the budget definitely is key. And I'd also say it's good to give yourself a little bit of grace and be able to step back a little bit, especially when you're in baby step 6. Once you've had your nose down for a while and you're driving towards that goal, it's tough to give yourself permission to spend. But we definitely did that along the way.
You need to. That's you go from intense to intentionality when you're in baby steps 4, 5, 6, and that's what you're supposed to do. And you guys, sounds like you did a really good job of catching the rhythm on that. Well done. Very, very well done. So what's the first big thing you're going to do to celebrate being millionaires and having no debt, house, and everything?
I am planning on buying a Polaris razor.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I've wanted one for about 5 years now, but it wasn't in the plan, but now it is.
I got to tell you, man, I've got one of the Can-Am versions, and it is a beast. It is so freaking much fun.
I've almost died a few times with Dave driving that thing around, man.
They are a blast. We have one couple that we're friends with, also on baby step 7, and they have one, and I instantly got hooked the first time I sat in one.
You should buy that toy. That is an awesome toy, and you have earned it. I'm so proud of you guys. Very, very, very well done. Excellent, excellent, excellent job. So good stuff. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you because you are one. A copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away to someone, and a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University. You may want to give that away, or you may want to go through it. Either one's good with us. We're happy for you. We're proud of you. Very, very well done. Who are your biggest cheerleaders?
Probably our biggest cheerleaders are Jimmy and Kendi. I'll throw their names out. They were that couple that are also on Baby Step 7. They were actually Jimmy's one of my lead techs at my dealership I worked at, and just somehow we found out we were both on the plan. He was already on baby step 7, and he just really encouraged me for the last probably 4 years to stick with it.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to have friends that
I
are
would
positive.
say Tim, our ELP as well. When Mark quit his job last summer, we were ready to, spend quite a bit to get our house paid off sooner, and he kind of paused, even though it wasn't in his best interest, and said, "No, that's not what Dave would tell you to do. Let's stick to the plan, and take your few months, and then we'll get back at it." But we're not going to change things just because of this. So I appreciate the ELPs as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Very well done. Good stuff, you guys. You're awesome. Way to go, rock stars. Freaking 40-year-old millionaires, baby step millionaires, house and everything is paid for. That's the way to live right there. Mark and Stephanie, Portland, Oregon, $705,000 paid off in 144 months. 12 years where I come from. $45,000 to $310, back down to $205 on the income. 39 and 40 years old. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
That was a decade-long scream right there.
I love it. Dave Ramsey doesn't teach people how to become wealthy. He just teaches them how to get out of debt. Have you heard that one? Nah. This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 28:6. Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. Albert Einstein said, try not to become a person of success, but rather try to become a person of value. Yes. Mike is with us. Mike's in Jupiter, Florida. Hey, Mike, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure, what's up?
So I have a God story for you real quick, and I have a question at the end of it. I was a chemical engineer in the state of Louisiana for about 5 years, working 80 hours a week, and I just wanted to be home with my wife and kids more often. And the Lord really came into the picture, and he really showed up. So my stepdad, he's been in commercial real estate for 35 years. He owned a lot of shopping centers and sold everything and focused on just one shopping center, about 75,000 square feet near Jupiter, Florida. And so he said, hey, how would you like to come work for me? I'm going to retire and teach you the business, and you only have to work 20, 30 hours a week. And I said, where do I sign? So I took over the property, and right after he bought it, I remodeled the whole place, brought it up 4 years later. We brought up the value from $12 million. I brought up the value from $12 million to $30 million. And we're in the process of selling it right now. So my question to you is, he was so gracious enough to give me 25% of the company. So when we sold it for $30 million, I would get $7.5 million. So my question to you is, should I take that $7.5 million, put it in debt-free into another shopping center and live off the NOI? Or should I take the $7.5 million, pay the taxes, and put it in a conservative mutual fund?
I would put it in a shopping center.
Okay.
You know what you're doing.
And I wouldn't have to pay taxes.
Yeah, you can do
right,
you can do
right.
a 10. No, you got a 1031 and roll your portion in.
Correct.
Yeah, and so you're going to save the taxes, number one. But number two, here's the thing: for someone that knows how to do what you know how to do, and I know how to do, which is manage real estate, and it actually was your job for the last several years. You've got 45 days in a 1031 to identify the property, and 6 more months to close on it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, real estate, well purchased, real estate, meaning you get a good buy on it. It's got good upside potential. Again, you may go back in there. You might buy a $5 million property and put 2.5 into it. Okay. You may do something other than that. I don't know. Whatever. But real estate that has a good ROI, a good rate of return, or ROI. Includes three types of rates of return. One is you've got the increase in value for later that you'll get. 2 is you have the cash flow. And 3 is you have the tax depreciation. So a lot of your cash flow is tax sheltered. But that actually has a cash value, because if you had that kind of cash coming at you from something else, you'd be paying taxes on it. So that actually saves you actual money today. So those 3 things together, you probably already know this, is called an internal rate of return, an IRR. Okay? And the IRR on my good commercial properties, like you're discussing, is usually between 17 and 20%. The cash on cash is usually around 10. But I've got the appreciation and the taxes in addition to that, tax savings in addition to that. But real estate has it is more complicated and requires more expertise than simply dumping the money into a good mutual fund with a long track record. You can do that blindfolded. You can't do real estate blindfolded. And real estate's going to require more of your time. I mean, this is Thursday as you and I are talking, and I have already 4 hours of my week this week invested in messing with my real estate stuff. And I don't even run it. My son-in-law runs it. But, I mean, we've got development going on. We've got purchases. We've got sales. We've got things going on with our real estate portfolio. And so I've been in several different meetings already this week that total about 4 hours of my time. The number of hours I spent on my mutual funds this week is precisely 0.
Right.
So there's a hassle factor, and you're going to invest time. But you should, if you know what you're doing, and it sounds like you have been mentored well, you should make more money, and you're not going to have to pay the taxes for now by doing a 1031. So definitely doing another shopping center if I'm you.
Okay.
You're talking about strip centers, right?
Correct. I was talking about strip centers. So our key was, and what he's taught me, he's not your typical landlord, and he was a great business mentor for me, and he really taught me the ropes, because he taught me, he said, hey, let's turn, if you have a 3,000 square foot bay and they can't pay rent, you can only go up so much. He said, first of all, you got to have parking. I've seen so many shopping centers with just 2 rows of parking. Well, there's only so many people that can go in there, and that, in turn, you can only charge your tenants so much because they're only getting so much foot traffic. You got to have the parking there, and he taught me 1,000 square foot bays is the key, because if you go up from $20 to $30 a foot, that's only $5 more. 20 to 25, that's only $400 more a month. Well, he always said, if you can't afford $400 a month, you never had a business.
Yeah.
So
what's he going to do with his money?
He's 76 years old. He can't really move around too good anymore. So he's just going to put it in his a trust. By the way, he's got 2 10-year-old twins. By a surrogate mother.
Listen, if you do whatever you want to do, but like I said, my son-in-law runs all of our stuff, and so if I were in the old man's shoes, I might reinvest with you. Now that I've trained you,
right?
But I'm not saying he needs to. But I personally, that's what I do. Obviously, now Winston doesn't have the ownership position that you would have, but he will have when I'm dead. So anyway, yes, you should do real estate, and those are all the reasons.
So cool. would you as the uncle in this situation, that'd be a cool cup of coffee to say, hey, I would like to propose that you take your windfall from this sale and invest it in me moving forward, or let me manage your property.
If you want to do another deal, I'll run it for you.
Yeah,
because you taught me how.
Yeah,
and that way he didn't have to pay taxes either.
That's right.
Today,
really, it's going to be his kids.
Yeah, you're running it for the kids, and you can leave that piece of property in the trust to the twins.
Yeah.
In that situation, so as easy as you can leave mutual funds. Now, property's harder to divide up. you know, you end up selling the property if everybody wants their cash, right? Later on in an estate situation. But yeah, it's a wonderful blessing. So Ken Coleman talks about this all the time, and we just witnessed it here. The art of the apprenticeship has just about died in America, and we just witnessed it happening well there.
Right.
It's not what you would think of as a craftsman apprenticeship, a woodworking apprenticeship, or a metalworking apprenticeship, a sculpturing apprenticeship, but that was a real estate apprenticeship. That's what happened there, an internship, so to speak. And he paid him well for running the thing, and walked him right in there, and then basically handed him 7 figures. That's pretty sweet.
Well, and gave him some ownership stake in it, a small amount, right? But hey, if you go do well and you work hard and use these principles I'm teaching you, you're going to benefit too.
Yeah. It's not a small amount, $7 million.
Yeah,
$7 million is pretty big.
I was saying percentage-wise, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't give him controlling interest, you know. But so and hats off to Mike too for being humble enough to step in under a master carpenter to learn carpentry.
Yeah, a lot of folks that walk in at 26 and say, I should be the president.
Yeah, submit yourself, snowflake.
Yeah.
You know, to someone who's older and wiser and learn something. It's good. That's really good stuff.
I love that.
That's a beautiful thing that happened there all the way around. The triple win. So many things positive about that. Yeah, and we could all take a card out of that book and learn something from it. Very, very powerful. And we're seeing a lot of that now with people abandoning higher education, moving towards the trades. We're going to see more of that in the trades. Thank goodness.
And people needing workers saying, hey, I'll train you. Come follow me for the next 2 years. And
I'll show you how to do it.
I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, very cool. If I stay here long enough, maybe you will have mentored me on how to do this.
I'm slowly learning how to do radio.
That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.